It won't be long, and he'll have me pushed off in the far corners, and he will take over this thing. But so that Dustin, he was gone for a year as well, and so Tanner was 6 months. He was gone for a year with his family, but he's really got a heart for. Anyways, he'll share, but he's really got a heart for home group and guys and pushing forward, and we just love their commitment and their heart, and I just wanted to give him a chance to just share how we can move forward.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, man, it's such an honor to be able to share with you and who feels like they've been maybe drinking from a fire hose all weekend. It's just been so much, and I feel like the janitor that has like a 4-inch key ring and like 500 keys on it, and I only know how to use 3, but I don't want to throw the other ones away because they might be important. We've been given so many kingdom keys this weekend. And what we want is to carry those throughout the year. That's what we've been talking about, right? We want to continue this, and we want to change. But who here is bad at changing? Husbands, put your hands up. Your wives are looking over like, put your hand up, right? And so we want to talk a little bit about that. My wife is over there like, yeah, keep your hand up. So listen, as Chris said, our family was in Puerto Rico for a year, and we went there because God wanted to teach us how to live as a family and as a unit when we don't have friends and extended family around. And what happened was when we started to spend a lot of time together, my wife realized I'm not as awesome as I told her I was. And so there were a lot of things I had to change. And see, Dustin, you got to change these things. And I think maybe around Christmas, we were having an argument because Christians don't fight, so it was an argument. And she said to me, this thing, you need to change. And I said, for maybe the 20th or more, I am trying. And she said something to me that marked my life forever and changed the trajectory of my life. She said, no, you're not. I believe you. You are wanting to change, but you are not trying. And there is a difference. And when we want, this is wanting. Wanting is going into the same circumstance that you've been in 1,000 times with the same heart and being disappointed that you respond exactly the same. And that's what I was doing. And trying means we care enough and we want enough that we implement change before that circumstance comes. And we train and we practice and we put on new armor and we get new weapons and we get new tools. And when the circumstance comes, we're excited. And we might not succeed, but it'll be different. And I'm telling you, husbands especially, there is a lot of grace for different, but there is not a lot of grace for wanting. And so we need to try to change. Okay? There's a difference. Key number 1. I got time for one more?
Yeah.
Okay. So listen, who knows what a dichotomy is? Chris Mathis mentioned it in one of his sermons. So a dichotomy is two absolutes that are in tension and on their own are damaging. But held in tension and in balance, they're efficient and they're useful. Okay, so it might be maybe being aggressive and being passive. Okay, or it might be being charismatic or being conservative or Mennonite and Pentecostal. Or is that too, no? Okay, right? So and then there's a balance. There's a center line, right? I'm not in balance. My wife's like, no, you're not. But pretend I'm the balance, and over there is the edge of the highway, and over there is the edge of the highway, right? And we're born on one of these sides of the roads. Our parents teach us to live on one side of this world. Maybe we're too charismatic, or maybe we're too conservative. And what the inherent difficulty is with this is that who knows that Jesus paid for the entire road? He said, these are permissible, right up to the trees. That's permissible. You can drive in the ditch. It's okay. But to judge those on the other side of the road is different. And when we live our entire life on this side of the road saying, I'm okay with clipping trees on this side, smashing up my mirror, permanently wrecking my car, as long as I don't cross the center line an inch, as long as I'm never associated with the right side of the highway, I feel safe. And we don't have grace for those on the other side of the road. And the other side of the road is believing the same thing that we are. And God is saying right now, I want you to cross over. Who knows that when you bend a wire, to bend it straight, you have to go further than straight. God will push you further than straight to bring you back to where he wants you to be, to center you. Mm-hmm. So I would encourage you, allow him to push you further than straight. Wow. And then he'll bring you back to centered and balanced. So thanks so much.
Yeah,
let me share.
Thanks, man. That's a good word. And it seems like it's always that way. You kind of go, you kind of go from one side to the other, but that's kind of the way we have to be moved. And that was a really good. So if something seems a little bit too far that way, it might be we need to go just to get back in line, and it needs to push us over to the other side. And when it comes to Scripture, and of course Scripture's got to be our rock solid foundation, but at the same time we can see it differently. And we can both think we're on Scripture and we're plumb lined on Scripture, but we can see it radically different. And so sometimes there's room for some navigating, because Scripture sometimes isn't as clear as we think it is. And I think God does that on purpose, so we have to wrestle through it and keep ourselves meditating and chewing on the Word. And it's not just the simple line of directions that is simple to comprehend. So Mike, just come on. We heard Dustin and just